All right, guys. Crazy stuff happening over the weekend, obviously, with the UFC betting scandal that came out. And I'm very honored to be joined by a man here who actually broke everything first. He had his finger on the pulse of what was going on. He joins me here as obviously this story develops. We break down everything that's been happening and also what might happen next. You know him as Harry Mack on Twitter. Harry, you're a busy man. You joined me here today. I appreciate you. Thanks for joining me here on Submission Radio.
My pleasure, brother. Thank you for having me. I very much appreciate it, and I appreciate the intro. It's been nice to take my victory lap, get my flowers.
Dude, well, first of all, I mean, people don't understand. It takes an incredible amount of work for you to get the information together, get it out there, to be able to monitor it. So I want to start off in the beginning here. Obviously, over the weekend, maybe not the biggest UFC in the history of UFCs. Probably one of the worst cards.
It might be at this point. Not for the right reasons.
Not for the right reasons. When did you start hearing about stuff happening to do with this fight not looking right? When did you start picking up on something that was wrong?
So I was originally keyed in early Saturday morning, and once again, I've had 1,000 idiots on the internet demanding, who's your source? Who's your source? Who's your source? Motherfucker, I'm not gonna ruin somebody's life to satiate some random guy on Twitter. I stand by my work. The people in this industry who know me, and no, I don't just throw shit at the wall. So yes, I was tipped off early Saturday morning, and basically what I was told is that there's some weird stuff happening around the Dulgarian camp. This was when action was starting to come in. The line was starting to shift. So I guess to back up a little bit, paint a little bit of a picture here. Isaac Dulgarian opens this week around minus 240, pretty sizable favorite. Gets bet all the way up to close to minus 300 during the week. So, nothing weird, nothing abnormal happening. And then we get to Saturday morning, and suddenly money starts pouring in on Deval, the underdog. Pretty significant underdog. Not only does money start pouring in on the underdog, the line now drops from Dulgarian minus around 300, 270 to all the way down to minus 140 at one point. The round one finish prop drops from around plus 900 to close to plus 200. So obviously that's going to raise some eyebrows. What precipitated, I guess, this becoming the problem it has is 5 bets that were placed at the Hard Rock retail that basically pushed things over the edge. The final handle on the Dulgarian fight was $16 million.
Oh, wow.
I'm not sure. I know you're a gambling guy. For everybody at home, I really cannot contextualize how preposterous a $16 million handle on a fucking Apex prelim is. We're talking about like an NBA game or a lower tier NFL game. Like that in and of itself is going to raise flags. And I don't know why all of these people yelling at me on Twitter and calling me all sorts of slurs don't understand that this is literally what state and federal regulations exist for. This is why this exists. This is why legal gambling exists. So at that point, the sportsbook notifies federal investigators that they feel there's abnormal action on the fight. That's when we start to see a few shops pull prop lines, a few shops pulled the fight line completely. Clearly something strange is happening. Where it gets really dicey now is federal investigators reach out to the UFC, and I can specifically tell you, I know for a fact Hunter Campbell was made aware. So now Hunter Campbell and the promotion are aware that there's abnormal betting action, significant abnormal betting action on a fight, enough that it got flagged by federal investigators. To my knowledge, multiple conversations were had between Hunter Campbell and Isaac Dulgarian's team. Dulgarian's team assured him they didn't know what was going on, that it was weird, that he was ready to go, he was all good. UFC decides, fine, we're going to move on with the fight. That right there is a big fucking problem. Because what happens next, we all know. I don't want to throw the fixing word around. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. I want to let investigators do their job. But we all saw the fight. We all watched a guy who, by the way, for the record, I have talked to teammates. I have talked to guys in the gym. I've talked to guys who have worked with him. This is a guy who is competitive with and regularly gets the better of ranked UFC guys in the gym. Isaac Dulgarian is a good fighter. This is not a fucking tomato can. And you could hear Daniel Cormier on the broadcast was saying, I don't know what he's doing. I mean,
Chiesa lost his mind.
But it's like anyone who's even if you've just watched MMA, but if you've competed, if you've trained, if you've done if you are a jiu-jitsu white belt, you know that when somebody is attacking an RNC, you attack the top hand. You definitely don't start punching the guy and just like I've never seen anything like it before. I've never seen it.
He went for a Dennis Holman. He went for a Dennis Holman defense off the back. Hey, just going back a little bit, Harry. Do you think that obviously that's crazy? $16 million, right? On something
preposterous.
Like did somebody get too greedy? If it was more minor, not 16 million, but maybe 1 or 2 million, do you think that would have skated by? Or do you think, regardless, because this is such a low-level fight on such a dead fight night card, that this would have been flagged regardless?
That's a very interesting question. And yes, it does raise the question of, okay, is there an arbitrary number? Is there an arbitrary handle? Is there an arbitrary volume where something gets flagged? And unfortunately, as far as I'm aware, the answer is no. It's all fairly subjective. So I don't want to give you a 100% certain answer when I'm not sure. Because I really don't know. You know what I mean? Obviously a handle like that clearly plays is instantly going to be flagged, but no, I don't know where the arbitrary line is where they decide something weird's going on. And part of this also comes down to, I don't know how familiar you are with American KYC laws, know your customer laws, but if you make an account and you make bets at a legal sports book in America, they have your fucking social security number. They have all of your financial information. So part of what gets things flagged is, okay, here's a guy who has, he's a casual gambler. Let's say maybe he comes in once or twice a week. He bets football on Sundays. He bets a couple $100. Yeah, if that guy walks in and lays $1 million down, everyone's gonna go, "What the fuck?" You get what I'm saying? So
yeah,
it's hard to give a definitive answer, unfortunately.
There's so much craziness about this. Obviously, Cash Patel also sitting in the audience for this thing. Like, this couldn't be like worse for the whole team, and this happening on a card like this. But quickly, just on the whole situation with the UFC finding out Hunter Campbell, Ariel Helwani, who, by the way, made sure to give you the credit that you deserve in that.
I appreciated that.
Which was really, really cool.
He let me take all the shit for it first, but he at least gave me credit. I'll give him that.
Said that he believes the UFC should have canceled the fight as soon as they got contacted. Why not cancel the fight? Just pay out the fighters and move it. Yeah, I just want to get your take on it. Why do you think the UFC didn't cancel the fight, and how much better would the situation have been if they did?
$1 million question. That's the $1 million question. I can tell you, I work in fight promotion. I got a show coming up in New York, VFL, December 12th.
Cool.
Terminal 5. See you there. But yeah, there's nothing that legally binds them to putting on the fight. They don't have any obligation to put the fight on. They are well within their rights to just pull it. And guess what? If they pulled it, you and I probably aren't sitting here having this conversation right now. Then the story is the UFC was alerted of something improper and they handled it in the correct way. But to your point, I'm sitting here doing the risk reward assessment, and I don't understand why on fucking earth you'd let that fight take place under any circumstances. It makes absolutely no sense to me. The risk far outweighs the reward of whatever's going to happen on a random Apex prelim. So that is a baffling question. And yes, I understand the implication there is, yeah, that leads you to reasonably infer then, okay, was somebody at the UFC incentivized to make this fight happen? I don't think that that's a crazy question given the circumstances.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. Obviously, they put out their statement. This is an uncrowned graphic, and this is what the UFC had to say.
I
Like many
love forcing
professionals.
people to make statements. This
Yeah, yeah.
one,
What did you think of this statement? And obviously, at the end here, we take these allegations very
nothing.
seriously, and along with the health and safety of the fight, nothing more is important. But it's kind of like, hey, we're handballing this thing over and trying to get rid of this, like clean our hands of this as quickly as possible. The statement basically.
Yeah, pretty much. My understanding is the UFC brass, so probably TKO realistically, wanted Hunter Campbell to make a statement Saturday night. As far as I am aware, Hunter Campbell was unavailable. What that means, take it as you will. I take it to mean that as a lawyer and a smart guy, he is smart enough to not go on fucking record without having all of the information about this situation yet. So yeah, Chael Sonnen is a moron and forced their hand a little bit because he had to just accuse me of being a liar for no reason. And I
saw that. You and Chael, man.
Fuck him, man. He's a fucking shyster. He is a grifting, money laundering paid shill. Fuck him. He's a hack. But yeah, he comes out and calls me a liar for no reason, and I realize, hey, Chael, this is actually the first time anybody from the UFC has commented on this. So is your official stance that there was no fight fixing and nothing took place? Radio silence from him for the rest of that. So I have a feeling somebody got yelled at for that one. And then, yes, the UFC releases a nothing burger statement that just great. They're going to conduct an internal investigation and they're going to say, wow, we didn't do anything wrong. But that's not what matters. What matters is a federal investigation that is underway.
You put out a tweet with a little bit of an update. I want to get to that in a second. But before I do, the obvious question is people would be wondering is, does this have anything to do with Krauss? Does this have anything to do with any of the other sport fixing across the NBA? From what you understand, and of course, feel free if you don't really have the facts yet, but is this associated with the stuff that's going on right now? Is this associated with some of the previous stuff in the past with the UFC? Or is this, from what you understand, its own situation that was created just for this particular fight?
Yeah, no, I think that's an important question. And, you know, unfortunately, like I said, I'm not here to throw shit at the wall. So I unfortunately don't have enough information at this time to say one way or the other if the two are connected, if in terms of the NBA. In terms of Jason Krauss, what I can tell you is I had a productive phone call with Jason House, who I respect for taking my call and being willing to talk to me and go on the record. House states that he has not had any contact with James Krauss since the Derek Minner incident, and that he cooperated with authorities, and that Jason Krauss has nothing to do with this. That's Jason House's official stance. That's his statement. I am presenting that as what he told me objectively. There's no conjecture from me there.
The other big question around here is, and this kind of, the conversation started with me, Jed Mishu, and Jose Youngs, we were doing morning after, is that apparently there is an investigation looking into a particular referee in the sport. I don't know how much all of this is to do with each other. From what you understand, is this a part of the investigation? Is this something separate onto this scandal?
My understanding is that it's part of the overarching investigation into, yes, abnormal betting patterns in the UFC and patterns with certain referees. And yeah, they're going to examine all of the data and they will present what they find to us. But as far as I'm aware, to the best of my knowledge, Jason Herzog is being quote unquote audited. So they are looking at his fights for patterns, irregularities, whatever you want to call it. It was very nice of him to call me transgender on Twitter. That was a new one. That was a new one for me. Good stuff, Jason.
Geez, so with Jason being audited, I mean, this is all pretty crazy. Do you know why they focused on Jason specifically, from what you understand?
I do not have that information. I don't. My educated guess would be that there was some sort of pattern that struck them. That would be my educated guess, but I cannot say factually what spurred that, caused that,
Yeah.
whatever word you want to use.
No, this is good. And also, we're just going off the facts that we see. You're going off the facts that we see. So this is a developing story for everybody out there. And I'm sure Jason Herzog and his team are figuring out a way to respond to this audit. It could be something, could be nothing. If there is an irregularity, and let's not talk about Jason, but just let's say in general about a referee. From what you understand, does this put into question the fights that they refereed? Does this impact outcomes of the results of the fights that they were a part of? What can this impact, or is this just specifically going to impact that one person if something is found, from what you understand?
That's a very, very good question, right? Because yes, then we get into, okay, is there collusion between a referee and a camp or a fighter or a coach or a manager or whatever it may be? So I once again wish I had more facts that I could present to you here, but I think unfortunately that's going to be one of those things that we're just going to need to wait for the investigation to play out and for the facts to come out, and we'll find out, because I can't, I can't confidently say that if they find a pattern that, so-and-so ref seems to, I mean, we've seen a few weird ones, like you said, in the past couple of months, where a fight gets stopped and suddenly continues and this and that. And yes, that raises questions about the over-under, about integrity. It's fucking weird. You know what I mean? It's Occam's razor, man. If it looks weird, if it feels weird, if it quacks like a duck and it walks like a duck, it's probably a duck.
All right, guys, just taking a quick break to thank our sponsors. First up, Manscaped. Look at this white hot lawnmower 5.0 Ultra. Make sure to jump on this bad boy today. 15% off with the code word submission, plus free shipping now. And you can get 15% off the entire website. I'm talking about the most comfortable underwear that you're going to wear. I'm talking about the beard hedger, which is what I use to make sure that my beard is in shape and ready to go for the program. And of course, you got the weed whacker for your nose hair too. You got all sorts of potions and lotions that get you sorted as well. Manscaped is your one-stop shop for everything that you need when it comes to your body and feeling good. Just one more time, have a look at this bad boy. Of course, you could get the different color variations as well in the black, but this is a limited edition right here that you can pick up on Manscaped today. 15% off with the code word submission. You could use it in the shower. You charge it once, put it in your bag. Doesn't go off like a vibrator, which is hopefully not an issue for you. Make sure you can use it discreetly and easily. Keep your boys smooth downstairs. Manscaped is the place to do it. So make sure to jump on right now. Support the guys right now. 15% off with a code word submission. Free shipping. Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra in the white hot, or you get the original OG black, which is also awesome. And the beard hedger as well. Like I said, one of my favorites out there too, the weed whacker. Just so many products on Manscaped that you can't say no to. It's Christmas almost around the corner. Surprise that special person in your life with some Manscaped in their life. And also, of course, the boxes are beautiful. Open these bad boys up. It's just a great gift altogether. Just have to wrap it lightly, put it under the tree. You're all sorted, and you help the program. 15% off with the code word submission. And I want to welcome back our friends at NordVPN, who are giving you the best discount off your NordVPN plan. Go to nordvpn.com/submission right now. You get an extra 4 months on the 2-year plan for free. That's right. Extra 4 months on the 2-year plan for free. There's no risk with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. Of course, you could click the link in the description below. Try it risk-free right now with a 30-day money-back guarantee. And, of course, pick up that great deal where you get all those months for free. Of course, NordVPN, best VPN out there. And if you guys want to watch your sports, I know the NBA season is crazy right now. It's across about 25 different networks. All your favorite movies, all your favorite TV shows dispersed over about 100 different streaming platforms. What about discounts to signups for different streaming services, for different products, for travel, all sorts of stuff? You can get it cheaper by changing it to different countries. And of course, NordVPN protects your information during this Christmas period as you're shopping. Make sure no one steals your credit card information. Takes away all your information, so you got to reset all your passwords. NordVPN has you sorted. It protects you, it looks after you, and it gives you access to all of the best sports around the world. Next year, it seems like having a VPN would be a good idea to have to watch all your favorite sports all over the world. NordVPN.com has you sorted. NordVPN.com/submission right now. Pick up this deal today. Get across it now. You're not going to regret it as we go into the Christmas season with so many big sports being played and you guys having to be across about 3,000 different networks and streaming platforms to watch. I appreciate you sort of looking into this and updating us.
Thank you
Latest
very
update,
much.
yeah, from you. And of course, everybody needs to follow you at BB Harry Mac to make sure they're across everything that's happening and all of the updates that you have. Federal regulators have flagged over 100 UFC fights this year for abnormal betting patterns, including 2 additional fighters on last night's card. Shit is about to get very ugly, still working to confirm, but it sounds like the feds are moving to audit, and that's what you mentioned, Herzog's fights. So this goes into the question first off. Is this the first time that this has happened in the UFC? Has it sort
Absolutely
of happened?
Absolutely not. I mean, this has been one of those things that is kind of an open, dirty secret in this sport, right? Guys go into fights hurt. A lot of the times, guys don't have a chance because of the way the UFC operates and the way that they are punitive and will punish you for pulling out and whatever. So, yes, guys often go into fights hurt. The difference is the tacit handshake agreement has always been shut the fuck up about it. Shut the fuck up about it. Don't fucking tell anybody. Jared Gordon got hit by a car, fought the next day, and nobody knew until the next day outside of, again, and this raises questions, his camp and Bilal and people in his circle. So, yes, this happens. I think Ariel said himself, this is not an isolated incident by any means. So, back to point A, this is going to get a lot uglier before it gets prettier.
From your investigations, and I know Ariel mentioned this, there are people out there that approach fighters to try and do this. It's almost like a side business thing. Is this what you're hearing? Is this what you're picking up?
Yes and no. It's I guess it's a complicated answer. I have not been able to confirm. I mean, here's what I can tell you. Vince Morales, one of the guys who claims he was offered $70,000 to throw a fight. Vince is what Vince says and what Vince stands by is that he does not know who offered him that. He was approached on the floor of the casino and a guy offered him $70K cash. He said no, never saw the guy again. That's his story. Again, there's no conjecture from me there. That's me presenting what was told to me. In terms of Vanessa Demopoulos, another fighter who yes, claims she was offered a fixed fight. She was unable to find the DMs of who it was. So, not much to really be done there. One that I can confirm, and I need to go back, and as you can imagine, it's been a bit of a hectic few days. But
yeah, man.
I need to go back and remember which fighter exactly it was. But one fighter posted, a lower level on the roster guy. I'm sure we're all aware of there's these fucking discords and group chats and this and that and paid tipsters and this and that. And basically they posted a DM that was from one of those types of guys, crypto Discord, whatever, gambling guys that basically said, hey, would you be interested in joining a group of UFC fighters and tennis players and in making a little extra money? So there is absolutely an element of that going on there where, yes, guys who are lower down on the roster who make less money are probably easier to buy off by basic logic. So there is an element of that. The scarier element is, if you examine the Dulgarian situation, right, and where I do feel for him to a degree is I don't think a lot of these guys understand the actual how serious and the legality and I don't think they actually understand the scope of a lot of it for the most part. But let's say I'm Isaac Dulgarian. Let's say, for the sake of argument, again, nobody fucking sue me. For the sake of argument, let's say he did fix that fight. If Hunter Campbell comes back to him and says, hey, we got flagged, blah, 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 but there's already $16 million on the line. If he pulls out, who's he got to answer to? That's the scary part.
Right.
And that's what I'm working to try to figure out. But
Gotcha.
Listen, yeah, $16 million is that's money that people are willing to do some real bad shit over, is what I'll say. So I can understand. Man. I can understand that he winds up in a position where, what the fuck else is he gonna do?
It's a situation as well where, it's a quiet week in MMA. You got the NFL, you got the NBA, and I imagine you got a fight that no one's really watching. So I imagine this was someone being like, hey, this is our opportunity to try and cash in on a fight that potentially, is sliding under the radar. For Dulgarian, you mentioned how serious some of these implications may be. I know there was a fighter in Korea who had to do a little bit of time in prison. Obviously, he's already lost his position on the roster with the UFC. How much more serious can this actually get for Dulgarian now that it's being looked into by the FBI?
Very. Very is the short and sweet answer. Very. And again, we will see what happens. There's a level of cooperation that might change things. There's a whole lot of variables at play here, but I can pretty confidently tell you I would be very surprised to ever see Isaac Dulgarian compete in professional MMA again.
Gosh, dude, this thing is crazy. So speaking of what's next, we've got all these investigations, audits, the FBI looking into things. What can we keep an eye open from you next? I know this is an active investigation for you as well. You're speaking to everybody, you're gathering information. Is there going to be a point where you start releasing more updates? What is your plan to sort of stay on top of this case? And how can we stay on top of your latest work and make sure we're across it all?
I appreciate that very much. I'm on Twitter and Instagram at @BBHarryMac. You can find all my stuff there. In terms of a timeline, all I can say is I will be actively covering this case, very much so. I have got a couple other media appearances lined up. I'm still very actively working my sources, investigating, trying to gather as much information as I can. But no, I am not somebody who is going to commit to you'll have X at this time because I'm going to do my due diligence. Look what happened when I was right, and look what happened when I fucking reported it. So you think I'm going to report something that I don't know for a fact? No, sir. No, brother. So yes, look out for a few things. There are a lot of moving parts here. There are a lot of developing elements of this story. I will do my best to keep everybody informed as best I can. I think it is a fucking shame that I had to be the one to force mainstream media into covering this, but sometimes that's how it goes. Sometimes you get a little pissed off and spiteful when you accidentally expose a giant gambling scandal.
Dude, it's like a movie. It's like a movie. I feel like Hollywood could do a whole thing on it. Let's see where it goes. But congratulations.
Someone send me a check.
Yeah. You played Leonardo DiCaprio playing you. Who knows? But I was going to say, congratulations, man. We'll stay on top of everything. And you said in New York, your promotion is having an event. Just give us the date and time.
Yes, thank you very much.
Fans out there.
Victory Fighting League. You can find us on Instagram. Our main event is going to be Crone Gracie and Tom Pooch, a local Long Island guy, for our featherweight title.
Hell yeah.
December 12th at Terminal 5. Tickets should be on sale shortly. And hey, if you're out there, you're an amateur, you're a pro, you're looking for a fight, we got another one coming up down the line. So feel free to reach out.
There he is. And follow him on Harry Mack, of course, on social media, dude. I appreciate you. Thanks for joining me, dude. You're the best.
Absolutely, brother. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.